Mini Cooper Club. There was one time in my life probably when I thought that the next car I was going to get was going to be a Mini Cooper. Except I can't drive a stick, and I think that's what they mostly come in. But it's pretty cool. I wonder what an Iowa-based club of Mini Coopers, 7 of them, wonder where they're going, where they headed, you know? What do Mini Cooper clubs do? I need to know this information. Horseshoe Poker Classic main event today. It's like a mini Colossus because, you know, of course Colossus is going to have 20,000 people. The Horseshoe Poker Classic is going to have 100 people. Same buy-in point. The structure here at the HSI is going to be a lot better. 25,000 starting chips. Way more stepped levels than the Colossus. I chose to take a step back from actually going to Vegas for the World Series of Poker, which I wanted to do to be more financially smart and stick around here, but I still want to take this shot in this tournament because it's going to have a really soft field. I should be able to run deep in it, and of course you guys will be updated. Well, we might not be going to the Horseshoe Poker Classic after all. It said road closed ahead. I'm already running a little behind. About 45 minutes away, and it says high water. I have no idea where to go to find my way around the high water and what would not be high water in this area. So that's cool. I'll report back in a minute or so. So we're going to take this little crappy road south until my map updates to a different way to get to Louisville. We'll see what happens. I have good faith that hopefully going towards the Ohio River, this area won't be flooded too, you know. We'll see. It's all good. It's all good. It looks like my map finally picked up some directions and rerouted me to a different way. It's mostly like back roady roads instead of a main roadway, but it still shows that I'm going to get there 12:04, so you can't beat that. Not going to be as bad as I thought, as long as we don't run into any more flooded water. Flooded water? Flooded roads. Can't nobody take my pride, can't nobody hold me down. Oh no, I got to keep on moving.
Can't nobody take my pride, can't nobody hold me down. Oh no, I got to keep on moving.
I wonder how many roads in America are called Gun Club Road. America! They have fidget spinners. Alright, we are now on the back road to the back road to the back road to the casino. Never been this way before either. I did find out with a 2-hour drive without Andy in the car to talk to, I do say a lot of stuff to myself. I need somebody to talk to. Okay guys, no time for small talk today. World Series. I've already talked to myself enough. The tournament's likely started without me unless they knew I was coming and they held for me, because they might have done that, you never know. Okay, about a half hour of seeing how everyone else acts. The first hand of note, I get pocket jacks in middle position. The under the gun player limps, +2 limps. I make a small raise to 450. The small blind is a player who won the deep stack back when me and Andy went to the final table. He called 450. And the big blind was a player who showed up a little bit later than myself. He was really aggressive and playing it really well. He 3-bet me to 1,450. Under the gun folded, +2 folded. Definitely not folding here. I could raise, but with the small blind being who he is and the big blind playing as the way he's been playing, I'm going to put in a call and see the flop. Because I think no matter what, they're calling. So I just call the 1,000. The small blind also calls the 1,000. Sweet flop, Jack 8-6, rainbow. The small blind checks. The big blind throws out a 3/4 pot bet, 3,500. I could just call along here, but I do have that irrational fear that the ace, king, or queen's coming. I want to protect against that, make him pay for it if he's going to hit it. So I raised to 9,000. I wanted to make it a little larger than double his bet, but small enough to where he may call. And the small blind said, "I think I have you both beat," and sat there forever and folded. The big blind made the call. The turn's the 4 of clubs, now bringing a backdoor flush draw out there. He made a really small bet of 2,500. Blocker bet, hoping I'd call. I count out the 2,500 and I see I have a little over 10K more. Pretty good sized pot brewing. If he's happens to be going for a flush or some kind of straight draw, or does have one of the premium pocket pairs, I'm going to make him pay for it, so I go all in. He tanked for quite a while and folded. We take down a nice pot. A while later, we're still cruising. We get pocket 10s in middle position. Under the gun limped. +1 raises to 400. +2 called 400. I just went with the call of 400 here. A little on the safer route, kind of set mining with a bigger pocket pair. Probably should have put in a raise. Small blind folded, and the big blind called the additional 250. Another nice flop. Queen 10-7, except this time it comes with 2 diamonds. We have a check party. +2, bet 750. I just call 750, which is it's a totally different player, but it's kind of way different than I played the last hand, you know, raising my set. I probably should have flip-flopped and raised this one with the diamonds being out there and just called the other one on the pretty dry board. Big blind folded, under the gun folded, and +1 folded. We see the very nice queen turn giving me the boat, so now I'm hoping for the diamond river. He bets 1,600, wanting to keep him in. I call 1,600. The river's a blank, 6 of spades, to which he checks. I'm hoping he has a queen, but it's very unlikely, so I make a small bet of 2,000, which he would hopefully raise over the top of me, but instead he just folded. Pro tip for those who don't know, when the tournament goes on break, don't go to the restroom right by the break room. Don't even go to the restroom on the same level. At HSI, I go out up to the 2nd level restroom in the back. Nobody's ever there. First break, we're at 49K from the 25K starting stack. Right on, you know, I came in a little late, so I bled some chips away and wasn't aggressive. I folded some button spots again. And then I got some good hands that paid off, you know. I got to keep this short though due to the flooding situation where I had to take a reroute. My phone's about dead, so I need to plug that in for the last 5 minutes of break. But I will be back to talk to you guys. I have all day to play. I'm not going to do anything crazy this time. Nothing crazy, nothing crazy. Thank you guys for watching. Also a tip, we're going only water today. I found that lately, you know, I drink protein shakes and Gatorade type sort of things, but during tournaments I've been drinking sodas, and about 4 or 5 hours in I get real sluggish. I love my wild cherry Pepsi, but I'm gonna stick with water today. YouTube Rail, 48K, second break, coming back to 300, 600, so that's like 80 big blinds. Owl, take it. See what I got up to 54K at my peak, but from stealing some blinds and picking my spots, I'm really got a couple of guys who I'm trying to avoid. Playing a little smarter, you know, taking my chips and protecting them and only putting them in when I feel like I can take the pot down, whether it's a bluff or a made hand, you know. But then here before break, I did bleed off just a hair. I raised the pot with ace king, and a lady like slammed 10,000 chips in. You know, I raised to 1,600. She slammed in 10,000 chips, more than half of her stack. So I think that's, you know, I'm probably coin flipping, or she has me beat. I just wasn't risking 8,000 more chips at that point. And then I got a big blind defense from a guy who I've been avoiding because he's playing really aggressive, really well for the most part. With 3-4 clubs, I decided to defend my big blind, and I flopped a open-ended straight backdoor flush draw, so I followed him along on the flop, but the turn didn't bring any help, so I folded. He bet pretty big. I wasn't going to chase. Like I said, this is my army of chips, and I'm not just giving them up today. Today is my day. Today is our day. This is going to be the day that, you know, you guys finally like, freaking finally. He finally didn't donk off his chips. Alright guys, I'll update you at the next break, which will be dinner break. Last week in the monster stack I was at this level with about 50 to 60 big blinds, so I got quite a bit more chips to play with. And even if I get aces the first hand back, I'm not going broke with just one pair. I'll get them all in pre-flop, but on the flop, I'm not going broke with one pair today, okay? A few rotations from break, we get pocket nines in middle position. The +2 player raises to 1600. I make the call, 1600. It folds around, the small blind folds, the big blind folds, and we see a ace 7-6 rainbow flop. My initial thought, as he's grabbing for chips, is to raise whatever he bets here. I do not believe he has an ace right away. But when he makes the bet of 2500, and I think for a little bit, I still believe my read in possibly not having an ace, but I chicken out and just make the call. The turn's a jack of clubs. When he checked the turn, I'm thinking maybe I can take this one away with a bet. So I make an almost pot-sized bet of 6,000. He thinks for a little bit and calls. And you know those moments in a poker tournament. Right now I'm thinking 9, 9, 9. And the river is the 9. I got him. I got him right where I want him. He didn't think for very long, and he grabs 2 5K chips off the top and nonchalant tosses them in. You know, usually that's a sign of he's showing he didn't care or whatever. Sign of strength, probably. And I'm thinking he's showing that as like a reverse tell. So I'm thinking about my set of nines. I count out the 10,000 chips. And you know, I have 20-something thousand more. And the pot is already just getting inflated for this hand. I should just call here. Although what's beating me? A set of aces, a set of jacks, a straight. That's it. What's betting? What might call my all-in? 2 pair, ace jack. A big ace. You know, I didn't believe he had it, but now the way he called my 6,000 and throws out a 10,000 bet, maybe he does have an ace. So I go all in. And almost right away he says, "Pardon me?" About like that. And he's like counting his chips, but he makes the call. And I show my nines, and I say, do you have a set of aces? Just, you know, almost admitting defeat right away. And he takes forever. This was a slow roll. He flips over 8-10 of spades for a gut shot straight. That's one of those hands you just get up, walk away. I have nothing to say. Nothing to say. Well, that was soul crushing. I said I wouldn't lose on just one pair. I thought for sure, I thought I should have raised after the flop. When he bet 2,500, I was going to re-raise, and I didn't. It kept him along long enough where he thought that he could call off with that gut shot straight draw. I do not understand that. He was the chip leader at the table, but he wasn't playing too terrible by any means. By terrible, I didn't see him doing that, chasing things. He did call off a lot of pots with like low pair, mid pair, and take them down and stuff throughout the day. Really thought that was it. I thought my pump fake, you know, counting out my 10K and then ended up calling all in. I thought that I'd get him to call with ace jack or even an ace the way the hand played out, and I didn't. Poker is brutal, man. So brutal. Thank you guys for watching yet another disaster vlog, disaster tournament. You know what to expect at this point. It's just gonna happen. Ever since I started vlogging, it's just been downhill, downhill, downhill. I've had my highs, but we're gonna come back strong. Poker vlogger game in a couple months. I don't know what I'm gonna do in between then. If I made t-shirts, link will be below or right here, or there will be a graphic after this. If you buy those, it'll support me on my traveling to get to Sacramento and back. Thank you guys, I appreciate you. Please comment below or reply to them all. Subscribe, give this video a big thumbs up. Testing, testing, I just dropped my phone in my cup of water. I don't know, I gotta play this back to see if the volume sounds good. I just had to strip my 2 sweatshirts because it went from the Arctic freezing cold poker room of the Horseshoe Southern Indiana to the sauna of my Ford Focus. Oh my gosh, it's so hot. It's what I need though. Sweat all the pain out, man. Sweat all the pain out. When it rains, it pours. Why don't you have poker anymore? For those of you who are new, I have to drive an hour and a half to either the Evansville Tropicana or an hour and 45 minutes to the Horseshoe Southern Indiana to play poker. French Lick used to have poker, but alas, they don't anymore. So I whine about it from vlog to vlog every now and again. You'll hear it again before it's all said and done. I just saw a sign for farm fresh eggs, and you know, I was like, yeah, right out of the chicken. And then I started to write. I was like, you know what, I should start rapping again. I should start writing some lyrics. Like, chicken ass to the skillet, man. That's how I fill up, man. Protein for my arms and legs with my farm fresh eggs. Or maybe I'll just, that's probably why I didn't ever make it. I don't know.